June 10th was a long day. It started about 2 in the morning when I woke up with chest pains, cramping. My wife came in and I said to my wife, "Gee, I didn't know any better. I think I'm having a heart attack." So I think I'm going to go over to Orange Regional and get checked out there. Heard they got a new catheterization heart center there, that they're doing pretty good with it in the new building. Went in, said to a gentleman at the desk, told him I was having chest pains, didn't feel good. "Come on, you're going with me into the back." The staff in the Cath Lab, really, you could tell they were a team. They were working together. Everybody had a job. It was flowing smooth. They were very calm, very helpful, very talkative, right through the whole process. It was the best service you could ever imagine. They ended up putting a stent on the right side that was 98% blocked. And I rested for quite a while, and about 2 a.m. I woke up. The nurse came in and she sat in a chair and she started to talk to me. And she just started asking questions. She asked, "What are you thinking?" And I said, "Well, this wasn't supposed to happen to me. I'm only 49 years old." And she said, "Well, let me tell you." She said, "Heart attacks have no age." She said, "It can happen to anybody at any time." She says, "You're lucky you survived it." She said, "A lot of people under the age of 50 don't." That really meant a lot. That 2 o'clock in the morning conversation when you're all alone, the shock is wearing off, the reality is setting in. For her to just come in and do that was, to me, was above and beyond her job.
Scott really stands out because he allowed us to become partners, really in caring for him and in learning to maintain his health and deciding what changes he needed to make. That's always the goal, is not to tell a patient what they need to do, but to become their partner.
That was a wake up there that, hey, I've got a wife and 2 children. Mitchie, who's 6 years old, and he needs a father. Everything I'm doing is because he needs me there to help raise him. I started at Orange Regional Cardiac Rehab Unit. I was impressed. I figured it was just going to be a bike and a treadmill, but they had a lot of equipment. You walk. It was a lot more detailed than I thought it was going to be. And the staff was great because they would set goals. Make sure you're losing weight, to how long you spent on a machine, to your heart rate. And they would cheer you on, and they made you feel good.
Orange Regional is here to be able to support any of your cardiac needs, really from the beginning to the end, and that's what Scott shows as well. I mean, he presented that day in acute distress, and after fixing that, we followed through with him for months afterwards.
If I can help somebody else, if I can share my story and somebody can learn something from it, if somebody can make a change to better their life, that's why I'm here.